welcome to round number 8 of Monsters of Destruction. I'm Larry Huffman along with Raquel Gardner, and we're in the beautiful Glendale Arena in Glendale, Arizona for exciting monster truck action. First up, the very popular pit party. There's Amber Skywalker talking to her fans, and Larry Swim, the driver of Barefoot, signing a lot of autographs. This is a chance for the kids to get up close and see the machinery up close and get pictures. We go to round 1 of qualifying. This is to qualify for the straight line drags. Barefoot against Public Disturbance. Now, they're not racing against each other. They're going for times to see where they'll be in the actual straight line drags. And the qualifier number 1, the fastest time, Barefoot, 3.814 seconds. Public Disturbance, 4.146. We go now to round number 2. This will bring Spider-Man up against Line X Obsession, the AmeriGas truck, the yellow truck with Rick Swanson there on the right. Again, this is just qualifying. They're going for time. They're not racing against each other. Clean runs for both trucks. And Spider-Man notches the fastest time, 3.481. 3.525, Line X Obsession, Rick Swanson. Not a bad run for either driver. We go now to qualifier number 3, the Monster Patrol against Monster Moose. Paul Schaefer at the left side. There it is, good close-up shot of the Monster Patrol. Schaefer, 2,000 horsepower, long wheelbase, lines up against the kid, Brad Campbell and the Monster Moose. Both get a good start. Let's check the time, the clocks. Very close qualifying. It is the Monster Patrol with 3.696 seconds. Monster Moose, 4.181. Going now to qualifier number 4. This will be Dragon Slayer against number 29, Kevin Harvick. The Dragon Slayer, Craig Christensen, against Amber Skywalker in the Kevin Harvick truck. Oh, look out. Christensen gets a little sideways there going over the cars, but he scores the fastest time, 3.732 seconds. Amber will settle for a 4.122. So the qualifying results, Spider-Man 3.481, Line X Obsession, Monster Patrol, Dragon Slayer, and Barefoot rounding out the top 5. Let's go down to the field and Raquel Gardner.
You're fairly new. Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're fairly new to this. How long have you been racing?
I've been racing for a little over 2 years.
Okay, and what are you doing different last night and tonight? I mean, I know you've won some races, but what are you doing different? Because you're kind of taking over the show here.
I cut my tires yesterday, and it's just been smooth sailing.
Is that what does that give you extra speed?
Yeah, it's just giving me extra traction here on this kind of dirt.
Now this dirt is kind of wet. So what's the difference? I mean, is it easier to race on this kind of dirt or when it's smoother and drier?
It just depends. Normally on a wet track, you'll spin through the corners more. On a turning course and straight line drags, I think makes everybody even.
Okay, you did something pretty crazy last night. Are you going to pull something like that tonight?
I don't know. I hope not. I don't like hitting walls. So.
All right, Paul. Thanks a lot. Paul Gentleman, everybody, from Spider-Man. Take it over there.
Thank you, Raquel.
Thanks, Raquel. Let's go now to the actual racing, ladies and gentlemen. This is qualifier number 1 in the straight line drags. This will pit Monster Patrol up against number 29, Kevin Harvick. Monster Patrol, Paul Schaefer, the boss, and the student or the employee, that's Amber Skywalker driving Kevin Harvick. Both owned by Schaefer, who owns over 20 monster trucks. This is for the race. This is straight line drags, Monster Patrol against Kevin Harvick. And the Monster Patrol on this side of your screen, and Kevin Harvick, Amber Skywalker on the far side. That's the Christmas tree. They stage. And we're set to go for qualifier number 1 in the straight line drags. Both getting a good start. Whoa, getting a little sideways there, and that's Monster Patrol, and he knocked over the scoring tower. So Kevin Harvick, Amber Skywalker, 3.166 seconds. Monster Patrol, 3.387. Let's take another look. Now watch the truck on this side get a little bit sideways and knocks over the scoring tower. So that will give the win to Amber Skywalker. Another look at it. She keeps going straight. Paul Schaefer gets a little sideways and goes to the inside. One more time. Like, take a look at it. Look at there. Gets sideways, knocks over the scoring tower. That's going to cost him penalty points. Heat number 2 now in straight line drags. The Monster Moose, Brad Campbell, right there. A good close-up look at him against Rick Swanson and Line X Obsession. Line X on the right side of your screen. That's Rick Swanson, who's done color for us here before in the Monsters of Destruction, going up against young Brad Campbell. We've said it before, when he first saw his first monster truck race at the Seattle Kingdome when he was 5 years old, he says, I'm going to own one of those trucks. And that's exactly what happened. Here, let's watch the start. Monster Moose on the left, Obsession on the right, the Amerigas truck. Uh-oh, a problem with Brad Campbell, and Rick Swanson, a flawless run. He hits the ground and just stays on the gas. And here comes the Monster Moose. Some kind of a problem, maybe a transmission, I'm not sure. He did not finish. Tough break for young Campbell. So the results, Line X Obsession, a 3.368 clocking, and Monster Moose, a DNF. Tough break for Campbell as he backs the truck up. They're going to check that vehicle over and find out what exactly went wrong. So let's take another look at it. He gets about a foot and stops, and that's it for the Monster Moose. And Line X Obsession slams on the binder, stopping right before the other monster truck. I don't know what happened to Campbell. They're going to have to work on that. One more look at it. Swanson, a flawless start, stays on it. The rooster tails keep spinning up from the wheels, and he takes the victory. We'll be back to Glendale Arena in Glendale, Arizona. Don't go away. From Glendale, Arizona, brought to you by Amerigas, America's propane company, and by MonsterTruckStore.com, your online source for monster truck merchandise, and by Cruisin' Tees, the ultimate in motorsport silk screening. Heat number 3 brings Barefoot up against Dragon Slayer, and Barefoot, the 3-time world champion, up against a machine that's been doing extremely well lately, Craig Christensen, in the Dragon Slayer. There's Barefoot on this side of the screen. They get off fairly evenly, and it looks like the victory goes to Dragon Slayer. And Craig Christensen's been tough to beat. 3.040, 3.498 seconds for Barefoot. Fastest run of the night so far by Dragon Slayer. Another look at it. That's the tough country suspension Hummer of Christensen on this side. He does not waste time. It is take no prisoners. This guy gets on the gas and doesn't shut down. He loves to perform and loves to beat the others. Another look at it. Barefoot on this side. You can see the start. A little bit of an edge there for Dragon Slayer. One of the most popular trucks in the circuit. That's Paul Jensen, and that's Spider-Man. He's going up against Public Disturbance, Curtis Stone. Now Jensen, the biggest man on the track, going up against this guy who's a relative newcomer to monster truck racing, Curtis Stone. That's Spider-Man on the left, Curtis Stone, Public Disturbance on the right. Let's watch the start. Whoa! A little bit of jump there by Spider-Man. That's going to cost him if the judges saw it. A fake start. Public Disturbance is going to get the win with 3.897, 5.0, there it is, 5.030 seconds for Spider-Man. A false start, a 2-second penalty. A tough break for Jensen, but a ticket to ride in the semis now for young Curtis Stone. There it is, another one. You don't see that very often by Jensen, a mistake like that. A false start, that's a 2-second penalty. We go now to semi number 1. This will bring out Rick Swanson and Line X Obsession against the young, beautiful number 29 Kevin Harmon truck of Amber Skywalker. Line X on the right. There you go with Amber Skywalker on the left. This is a semi. The winner goes to the main. Here's the start. Very even, but it looks like, yep, it's Line X Obsession, 3.266 seconds. Right behind him, 3.501 for Amber Skywalker. So Line X Obsession will make the main. Let's take another look at it. Swanson got the jump right off, and he hit that ground. The rooster tails came up. The wheels are spinning. He didn't slow down at all. He slammed on the binders right before he hit the wall. Again, the start, beautiful start by Swanson. He is just smoother than a mayonnaise sandwich, this guy. Semi number 2, a surprise. Dragon Slayer against Public Disturbance, and Curtis Stone did not expect to be in this semi. He's on the left, Dragon Slayer on the right, and you got to wonder what Christensen's thinking, because he just saw this kid beat his stepson, Paul Jensen. Here's the start. Even, but no, Dragon Slayer gets a little bit of a drive on him, and it's Dragon Slayer taking the victory. Let's check the clock. 3.029, a blistering time against 3.807 by Curtis Stone. That's nothing to be ashamed of. The tough country Hummer will go to the main event to take on Rick Swanson. One more time, a look at it. And not a bad run at all by young Curtis Stone. He's learning a lot. Just started a few months ago. but it's Dragon Slayer getting the start. The big Hummer out in front. One more time. The four-wheel drive Hummer, whoa, slams into the ground and almost slams into another truck. So this is the final. Dragon Slayer against Line X Obsession. There's Swanson in the AmeriGas truck. Beautiful yellow and blue. And on the other side, this guy is as serious as a heart attack. He loves to win. Craig Christensen out of Utah. He is tough. Well, let's watch him. Line X on the left, Dragon Slayer on the right. Here's the start. This is the main event for all the marbles. Looked to me like Dragon Slayer took it. Let's check the clocks. Whoa, Line X Obsession, 3.433 against 3.442 for Christensen. Unbelievable. Swanson, the crowd likes that. They're waving and cheering. And Rick Swanson takes the main event. One more time. Again, an even run right off the line, but Line X, by just a tiny margin, takes the victory over the veteran Craig Christensen. One more time, Scott McLemore's crew doing a great job on the cameras. Straight line drags final, Line X Obsession, Dragon Slayer, Kevin Harvick, Public Disturbance, and Monster Patrol. Let's look at the points. After 8 rounds, it's Monster Patrol tied with Dragon Slayer, Bigfoot in third. Let's go down to Raquel on the floor.
Well deserved, I have to say.
Thank you very much. You know, we were out here with our sponsors. We had Line X AmeriGas out here last night. Unfortunately, first round snapped an axle. We worked for about an hour and a half, got it put back together. Missed the rest of the racing, came back to a good freestyle. Came this morning, was another broken axle, fixed that, so we're putting it to the test tonight.
Is that a part on these trucks that breaks the easiest, or what is that?
No, it just so happened I had some brand new axles made and there was some machining problems, and that's what was doing it.
You know, you've been over the years a really consistent driver. How do you keep that up? I mean, you get the crowd involved a lot, and you've got a lot of fans. What do you do to keep that fan base?
I just try to do the best I can. You know, I'm really fortunate. My wife and my son, they're the best. They work with me all week long, do all my traveling. You know, I've got a great crew here. I got Jeff and Donald and Lisa from AmeriGas here helping me. We're just doing what we can.
Well, keep it up, Rick. You've been doing a great job. Rick Swanson, everybody. Line X Obsession.
A very happy Rick Swanson. Congratulations, Rick. We'll be back with more exciting action with the Chicago-style racing in just a moment. Don't touch that remote. Heat number 1 in Chicago-style racing. Number 29, Kevin Harvick against the Monster Patrol. These guys lined up earlier. That's Paul Schaefer. That's the owner of the trucks against his young protege, young Amber Skywalker. They line up at Glendale Arena on the opposite sides of the arena, over the cars, over the obstacles. Chicago-style racing in a circle, 1.5 times around. They stage, and we're ready to go for heat number 1. Also called obstacle racing, as the official jumps over the wall because these trucks can get out of control real easy. Here's the start. Monster Patrol launches, long wheelbase, a lot of horsepower, but has difficulty getting around the other end. Here's Amber in the same. Whoa, look out, Amber. She gets crazy, and I think she just hit the wall. She bounced off the wall, and that was it for Amber. Got a little bit crazy, and Paul slams on the brakes, so he doesn't run into the back of her. The win goes to Monster Patrol. Kevin Harvick will take second. And she makes her way back to the pits. Another look at it. There's the start. Monster Patrol against Kevin Harvick, number 29. Let's see what happens. She goes way over and kisses the wall. And that's it for Amber Skywalker. And I hope she didn't damage that truck. She'll be hearing from her boss, Paul Schaefer, if she did. So the win goes to Frankenstein Monster Patrol, the Universal Studios machine of Paul Schaefer. There's another look at it. Kid Rock, number 29, Kevin Harvick, known by several names. One more time to start. Here's a shot of the Monster Patrol. Long wheelbase, has a tough time getting around this tight course. He's got a lot of power, over 2,000 horsepower. And that's Amber after bouncing off the wall. And she very wisely stops. Let's go to heat number 2. This will be Public Disturbance and Line X Obsession. Rick Swanson, the man who won the straight line drags, against Curtis Stone, the man who found himself in the semi in the straight line drags. Line X Obsession against Public Disturbance. There's a shot of Public Disturbance. Curtis Stone getting off the line. Stone is still learning, but doing well. Now, oh, Rick gets all the way off the cars, but he gets over them. And I don't think there was a problem with that. Let's take a look. When he stops, there's some kind of a problem with Rick Swanson. What is going on here? He is stopped with a mechanical problem. We're not sure what happened. Anyway, the victory goes to public disturbance, 19.604 seconds. And something happened with this truck right here, Linex Obsession. Let's see if we can see what happened. Comes around at the end. He's on the gas. Gets sideways, up on the, and oh, look at there, sparks flying from the differential down to below. He's got a problem with the drive line on that machine, and he comes to a screeching halt. So after winning the straight line drags, he is out of the competition, at least in his first round of running in the obstacle course, the Chicago style racing. Another look at him. He gets really sideways going over his trucks, and now the sparks start coming out. There's a problem, and that will hand the win to young Curtis Stone in public disturbance as he stops there. Heat number 3, Dragon Slayer against Barefoot. Craig Christensen on this side, a perfect start, no problems at all, stays on the gas, around, slides around, slipping and sliding through the mud, the blood, the beer, but he's on the gas. And Dragon Slayer looking for a win here. Boy, these guys put on a tremendous show. Barefoot wanted that win, but I think it went to Dragon Slayer. Let's check the clocks. The Tough Country Hummer of Craig Christensen. Yep, 16.835 seconds, 17 seconds, .323 for Barefoot. Another look at it. It's a race that's determined in hundredths of a second. Extremely close racing here. And Barefoot, 3-time world champion, has to take second place. He doesn't like that at all. Larry Swift, he likes to win. Another look at that start, a flawless start by Craig Christensen. New sponsor, Tough Country Suspension, sponsoring him. No mistakes. This guy is absolutely right on the gas all the time. Puts that truck exactly where he wants it. And takes the victory in heat number 3 in the Chicago style racing. Another look at Barefoot. Beautifully prepared truck, beautiful paint job. But the win, just edging out Barefoot is Dragon Slayer in heat number 3. This is Chicago style racing from Glendale, Arizona. I'm Larry Huffman on the microphone. We'll be back with more exciting action. Don't go away to Monsters of Destruction, round number 8. Arena. This is heat number 4 in the Chicago style racing. The very popular Monster Moose, Brad Campbell against Spider-Man. A couple of cartoon characters. I'm talking about the trucks, not the drivers. This is heat number 4 in the Chicago style racing. The Monster Moose to the left, Spider-Man on the right. A little bit of a problem there getting over. Uh-oh, he hit the wall. It looks like Spider-Man went into the wall, which will give the win to the Monster Moose. That is a very rare mistake by Paul Jensen. You don't see that very often at all. The big man, 6'6", but the win goes to Monster Moose, 21.374, over 27 seconds for Spider-Man by going into the wall, 27.103. Well, that's discouraging, and that's not a very happy Paul Jensen on that one. Well, in round number 7, Jensen won the freestyle, but he hit the wall. He only ran about 6-7 seconds, but the crowd loved him. This time, he's not going to take the victory. Another look at Paul Jensen and Spider-Man. Now watch as he goes around the corner, getting a little bit wide and hits the wall, hits the panel. In the meantime, Campbell is on the gas, no problems. This guy, a perfect, flawless race. Campbell has come so far in such a short time. Semi number 1 will pit Monster Patrol, Paul Schaefer against Public Disturbance. Now, where do you come up with a name like Public Disturbance? Well, there's a very interesting story behind this. Brad Campbell owns a truck. Curtis Stone drives for him. Let's find out how they came up with Public Disturbance.
We took him out of the trailer and, just wanted to run him. We got these. It's just like Christmas. Kids with new toys. So Brad's got equipment and everything. We built the jump and took him out and jumped it a couple times and somebody complained and they didn't like it, so with one person complaining, and there was probably 50 kids and then 20 parents, a total of, 70, 80 people, just loving it, they were getting a free show, and they just loved it. So Brad got a ticket. He got hauled off to jail. We had to go bail him out, and so then we got him back, and then 2 months of back and forth. Well, he finally got a ticket for public disturbance. So that's the name of our new truck.
It's a different area I live in, but I'm a general contractor and had a pretty good-sized dirt company. I own a lot of equipment and some land, and we was just playing around on my own property, and I guess one person got a little upset about it, and then a power trip police officers come out, and that was kind of the end of that story. So they got, there was some jail time and some fines to be paid, but it's when we had to decide about the next truck to put together, it kind of was a no-brainer for all three of us. We said, hey, let's name it Public Disturbance. It works for a monster truck, and let's put a good paint scheme on it, and that's what we did.
Whatever the reason for the name, it's turned out to be a good luck charm for this machine. Public Disturbance against Monster Patrol in semi number 1. Now, Monster Patrol, a seasoned veteran, but again, a very long wheelbase truck, has trouble getting around the tight corners here in the Glendale Arena, and Stone is driving a beautiful race. No problems at all, no mistakes, staying on the gas, and the win goes to, I think we've got an upset. Let's look at the clocks. Public Disturbance takes the victory, 19.242 seconds against the Monster Patrol, 19.607. Almost 20 seconds for that big Monster Patrol. So, again, Curtis Stone is living it right, doing something right. He's going to go to the main event. We go down to semi number 2. Let's find out who goes up against him. Dragon Slayer against his partner, the Monster Moose, Brad Campbell, who owns both Public Disturbance and this truck. This is semi number 2. Tough Country Dragon Slayer gets out in front. Looks like it. Pretty evenly matched here. Both of them on the gas. Craig Christensen driving again a flawless race. This guy's there. He's now edging ahead. You can see the checkered flag coming out. Let's look at the clocks. And the time goes to Dragon Slayer, 16.315 and 16.951 seconds. Right behind it, Monster Moose. Our cockpit camera showing you what a beating that Craig Christensen takes in that Dragon Slayer. He's got to be driving the front wheels and the rear wheels, steering both the front and rear wheels, and staying on the gas. And look at how he's thrown around there. They go to the chiropractor on Monday, I'm telling you. Each one of these drivers, they take a tremendous beating. Well, this is the final, ladies and gentlemen. And again, Public Disturbance, Curtis Stone finds himself in a main event. I can't believe this. Going up against Dragon Slayer. This is going to be a tough one, though. They launch. Dragon Slayer coming at you. Stone going away from you. There's Craig Christensen and Dragon Slayer. Getting down and getting right over there. Oh, problem. Look out. Something happened with Public Disturbance. Could not turn, could not get around the corner. Looks like that will hand the victory to Dragon Slayer. And Stone has nothing to be ashamed of as he knocks, well, he could be ashamed of that. He knocks over the scoring tower, but he heads for the pits. Dragon Slayer 27.597. Public Disturbance did not finish. One more time, let's take a look at it. And again, Dragon Slayer coming at you, the eventual winner. Now watch what happens with Stone. Curtis Stone, Public Disturbance coming up over the cars. Could go almost up on both wheels, both right wheels, and that was it. So the results, Dragon Slayer, Public Disturbance second, Monster Moose, Monster Patrol, and Barefoot. And that means that Dragon Slayer is on top after 8 rounds, and Bigfoot's going to come back in Winston-Salem. Let's go down to Raquel on the floor.
You talking, you're just crazy.
It's just another day in the office. You just get in behind the wheel, stand on the gas, turn the corner. This is what divides the men from the boys. Like I say, I've done it 12 years. I'm very good at the turning course, and it's kind of where I like to shine. It's where I say that you can either show that you're in control of the truck or the truck's in control of you, and I try to get better each and every round. But, you know, there's a lot of thanks that needs to go out to each and every one of these drivers. Curtis is brand new. Come over here, Curtis. You know, he's done a heck of a job. He took out the legendary, the man behind the wheel, supposedly, Line X with Rick Swanson, and he's done a great job. Barefoot, Monster Troll, even my son Spider-Man. Yeah, actually his name ain't Spider-Man, it's Paul, but you know what I mean. But
Now, quickly, just tell me, why are you burning so much of that? Is it methanate? What is that?
no, I think what we've done is we've burned a hole in a piston. We've burned the motor up. It has no power. It's not taking off. We're going to run outside and see if it's either a piston or an intake gasket. We're going to try and get the thing back together for freestyle, but it doesn't have any power. It won't respond, and like I say, when I say power, it's probably down to about 700-800 horse. I'm used to 1,500 horse, and for me, it's just not responding. But I love freestyle. If there's any way possible, I'm going to get this thing buttoned back up and get back in here. So I'll get
Freestyle is your forte, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Like I say, if this one won't run, maybe I'll go kick my son out of the other one and I'll drive it.
All right, Craig Christensen, everybody. First place, Chicago-style racing. Give it up.
We'll be back to Monsters of Destruction in Glendale, Arizona with the freestyle competition. Up first is Barefoot, Larry Swim. Now, how this works, ladies and gentlemen, is each truck comes out. They have 90 seconds to do whatever they want to do. And a lot of people feel this is the best part of the show because these guys go for some serious air. Barefoot, Larry Swim, 3-time world champion, has not had good luck tonight. Let's see what he can do in freestyle competition. We've brought the van out in the center. You can see that behind. Oh, landing on the rear wheels. That shook up his ancestors, that landing. Long wheelbase dodge. Larry Swim up over the cars, going for some serious air. He's not yet gone to the van in the center. We brought a van up, and we put the bulldozers to build up a berm on both sides of the van to launch him into the air. Here he goes. Up, and over. And slams down, that suspension working every inch of it. And the crowd loves it. Larry Swim, again, this is a long wheelbase truck. They traditionally do not do that well inside. Outside, he's almost unbeatable. But inside, he's got a lot of power, but he's still got a long wheelbase. He comes back up again. We got a total of 90 seconds for Swim. Comes up over the cars. The crowd loves air in any kind of a sport. Motorcycles, motocross, freestyle, whatever. They like to see big air. That's what they're seeing with this. Trucks take a tremendous beating when they land. Coming up stage to the second center. You can see the wheels, both the front and rear wheels turning. He's waving to the crowd, egging them on. Say, cheer for me. I want to win this thing. I haven't won anything else tonight. There's a slow motion look at Larry Swim as he launches himself over those cars. It's so hard to control these trucks. People say, do they go on their head? Yes, they do. Oh, and almost right there, almost going over backwards. Well, the crowd loved it. Here's another shot of Swim. Look at this from another camera. And it's so easy to find yourself on your head. Going over the van, now watch the rear wheels, just barely touching the top of the van. Freestyle competition. This is second. Pumping Disturbance and Curtis Stone. Now Curtis Stone, he is very happy tonight. Made a couple of main events, and he's coming out here to show the crowd what he can do. This is perhaps the toughest part of the competition for a driver, especially a fairly new driver. And Stone has only been driving a couple months. This is a brand new truck. He drives for Brad Campbell in the Monster Moose. Public Disturbance. You heard him earlier talking about how the truck got the name Public Disturbance. They were arrested, and Brad Campbell went to jail. They charged him with Public Disturbance. They said it's a perfect name for a monster truck. So Brad Campbell, the owner of Public Disturbance, the driver is Curtis Stone. He gets set to launch. Let's see what he does now on the freestyle. He's going over the van and just creases the top of that van. The crowd loves this type of competition. They love to see the trucks get almost out of control. Goes over the cars. Occasionally you'll see one of the jagged pieces of the car puncture one of those big 1,000-pound tires. So far we haven't seen it yet tonight. Stone's got an awful lot to do in that cockpit. And again, he's trying to go for some big air. Doing a real good job tonight. I'm impressed with this young man, Curtis Stone, out of Puget Sound, Washington. Not making any mistakes, which We can't say that about a couple of the other veterans, which we will mention their names right now. But Curtis Stone has not made any mistakes yet tonight. Up to the band. He gets all the way over the band, just barely touches with the rear wheels. Well, coming up next with more freestyle competition will be Brad Campbell and the Monster Moose. And slams down almost at the bottom of the berm. Paul Jensen, Spider-Man, waving to the crowd, taking the accolades. Names of West Coast Choppers fame and his designer Mike D have teamed up with Chris Kingston of Milestone Motorsports to build an entirely new monster truck. It's a 1931 Cadillac, and it's called the Cadaver.
About a year ago, maybe.
Well, it's been before that because we've had like fans since day one. Monster Garage started. Everybody said we should do a monster truck on Monster Garage, but I don't know. I thought, I don't know. I didn't think it. I thought about it. Might be cool on the show, but I think they're just too involved to build in 5 days.
Right.
And I knew if I built one, I wanted to do like the bad. I mean, Gravedigger's like the baddest truck ever. You know, for merchandising, popularity, everybody loves it. You know, and I figured I'm not going to do it unless it's going to be something that can compete with that.
What did you guys come up with, or who came up with the idea of the 32? I did. Actually, 31 Cadillac. I knew it couldn't be a truck, and I started flipping through some of my classic car books, and came across some of these old caddies, and I thought, that's it. Boom, that's done. Did some preliminary sketches, sent them to Jesse, and then I tweaked it a little bit. Jesse wanted to put the rib cages off these fenders here, which led to the Cadaver name, and set that skull right between where the grill is, and that's kind of how it went, real fast like that. But the stock body caddy was too stiff, so I wanted it to have a a custom feel. So I chopped the body, flipped it around, and kind of chopped the top, and that's what we got. It had to be gnarly looking, and obviously gnarlier than Gravedigger.
I mean, Gravedigger will always be the benchmark.
Yeah, always.
What everything's gauged against, but I don't know.
So the Cadaver name works.
Yeah. Went to all those things like the Grand Slam of Motorsports and mud bogs and tractor pulls and everything when I was a kid. And there's a couple that stand out. There was a mud bog car. God, what the name was? What's the name of it? That it was like a 33 or 34 Vicky. That the body, the driver's cab was set way back. And that was one of the baddest. And then the tractor puller, the Budweiser Boss, was like the baddest tractor puller ever.
There's something about having cab rearward long hoods in something that jumps and flips and does 360s to me. That proportion of swinging the tail, all the weight in the back, it's almost like it's designed to do that.
And you're sitting way back and all that stuff's in front of you.
It's more dramatic.
Even from the outside, it looks
It's more dramatic.
Yeah.
You're getting your own truck.
Yes.
What are your plans for that? What are you gonna do with that?
I'm just gonna drive it around Long Beach, man.
Go to lunch?
Go out to dinner.
Smash over anybody who's in your way?
It's a two-seater too.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
So here's Paul Schaefer, the driver owner of Monster Patrol, and he's going to be helping build that Cadaver, the 31 Cadillac of Jesse James and West Coast Choppers. Let's look now. Let's watch as Schaefer comes out for freestyle. Now again, we've talked about this truck before. One of the most powerful trucks out there, over 2,000 horsepower, and the only truck with a wing, and also the only truck with the bubblegum lights on the top, which Schaefer prefers, and he has them running while he's actually running. But the wing does really nothing in an indoor arena. It's a good place for us to mount our Scott McLemore's crew cameras to watch what's going on inside. But right now we're watching Schaefer in the very popular Universal Studios Monster Patrol Frankenstein, and he's putting on a show. But as I say, it's tough for him because it is a small arena. He's got a long wheelbase truck. Let's see what he does. He's got the power. Let's see if he gets some air. And there he's got the air. Doesn't want to run into Spider-Man, though. He slams on the binders. The clock is running. And we'll be going to some outdoor arenas, Monsters of Destruction of the series. That'll give it a little bit of an edge to Schaefer, this driver right here, and Amber Skywalker in barefoot, the long wheelbase trucks. But in the meantime, inside the Glendale Arena, the crowd's liking it. Schaefer getting a little bit of air there. Got the power. He's got to slow way down to make that turn around the corner at the end of the arena. Oh, he's waving to the crowd. I see that now. He's waving to the crowd, encouraging them to cheer him on. We'll be back with a wrap-up of freestyle competition here at Glendale Arena. Don't go away.
The Monsters are back April 8th and 9th at the LJVM Coliseum for the Monsters of Destruction Monster Truck Series. Nationally televised on the Outdoor Channel. See the original Monster Truck. Big Fall compete against Spider-Man, Monster Patrol, Dragon Fire, Samson, and more. Heats on at 5:30 with showtime at 7:30. Pit party from 6 to 7. See high fly and freestyle motocross throwing the sickest tricks in the book. Tickets only $10 at the box office. All Ticketmaster outlets charged by phone and online. April 8th and 9th. LJVM Coliseum will save the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Hey, Billy.
Freestyle competition is our old friend Rick Swanson and Line X Obsession. Let's see what Swanson can do. He's got the advantage because he's seen what the other drivers have done. The disadvantage is the cars are flat, as is the van in the center. He'll still go for some air. Swanson likes this. He says this is where he takes the worst beating of the whole night, and he definitely has an appointment with his chiropractor on Monday morning. But he's getting some speed up there. Short wheelbase truck. The Amerigas Line X Obsession machine. And putting on a good show in this freestyle competition. We mentioned it before, but Swanson, there he goes over the van in the center and kind of creases it a little bit more. He built that truck for his wife. She was gonna drive monster trucks. She always wanted to. And then after a couple of them, he's gonna back up now. This is the first time we've seen this tonight. He backs up and stops right on the top and encourages the crowd to cheer him on, then goes forward. He built the truck for his wife. She drove it once or twice, said, this is insane, I'm not going to do it. He figured, well, I got all this money tied up, I better drive it myself, and that's what he's doing, and he's done very well. Got a big shop in his home, behind his home in Menifee, California, where he does all of his own work, his own mechanical work. Let's take another look at it in slow motion. Line X Obsession getting a little sideways there on the top, slamming down and bouncing a few times. Another look at it over the cars. So Swanson and Line X Obsession doing the best he can with what's going on with the trucks, with the flat machine. Well, we've run out of time, and for the first time we have a tie between Monster Moose and Spider-Man. The crowd loved him. So I'm Larry Huffman along with Raquel Gardner. We'll see you the next time. Rounds 9 and 10 at Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Thanks for joining us for Monsters of Destruction.